1320 WILS. Let's talk about our backs. Let's talk to Dr. Stephen Weiniger. He's a chiropractor and a posture expert, author of the book, Stand Taller, Live Longer. Bodyzone.com. That's his website, bodyzone.com. Dr. Weiniger, great to have you here.
Thank you for having me, right?
Yeah, stand taller, live. How do you stand taller?
It starts from the core. People think about the shoulders when they think posture, but it's about aligning your head on top of your torso, on top of your pelvis, on top of where you're standing. One way to think about it, imagine there's a balloon on top of your head, literally pulling you taller. That's the direction you want to be standing.
Okay, now that's the standing. Are you supposed to sit like that also? Or?
Absolutely. The more you can keep your body lengthened and tall, the better your body can breathe, and the less problems you can have with back pain.
That seems hard. I'm doing it right now, and I mean, I can maintain it for the moment, but I don't know how long I could sit like that. How do you keep it up?
That's the idea, because we spend most of our lives in our society bent forward. Your muscles have become weaker in ways you should be strengthening them. And it's not something you do once and you forget about. Incorporating exercises, postural exercises to strengthen your posture is what we strongly suggest and recommend, and we teach doctors to teach their patients that.
Yeah. I hear this term sitting disease. Is it really a disease at this point?
Believe it or not, it really is. A great study just came out in the Annals of Internal Medicine in January, and they found that people that spent more than 12 hours a day sitting had a 91% higher incidence of diabetes. It's not just that you're not exercising. It's when your body is folded, your organs are getting compressed.
So what do you do, like at home? How do you avoid sitting, or how do you deal with it?
Everybody sits. It's part of life, although you want to be aware of it, because the more aware of it you are, the more you can get up and take a break. Right now, as I'm talking to you, I'm sitting on a ball, and I will use a ball during the day a couple of times to stretch my body opposite the folding posture of sitting.
So you don't sit with any kind of back support then?
Actually, just the opposite. I would rather sit without a back support, because if you think about it, most times when you're working in front of the computer, are you leaning back or are you leaning forward?
Yeah. Okay. So what if you are leaning back? What if you have a real good lumbar support? Is that helping you out?
A good lumbar support is not a bad thing, but I strongly prefer something that supports from the bottom. There's a cushion called the back joy that I'm a big fan of, because it supports from the bottom, and it makes a lot more sense to get a strong base than to just push it from behind.
Yeah, is there a simple exercise that you'd recommend to kind of strengthen the back so we sit properly?
A good exercise that we recommend everybody do is trying to stand really tall in a doorway and put your hands on the doorway and try to pull your body tall. And then that's step one, the 3 steps. Once you find standing tall, pull your belly in. You want to tighten your core up, and then holding your core, lift one leg up and try to hold that for 5 breaths.
That sounds hard.
The first time you do it, it feels weird, but when you start to do it, you're strengthening the muscles that you're neglecting when you're sitting all day.
You know, I should admit right now, I'm actually sitting on a back joy myself, believe it or not.
In terms of the devices on the market, back joy is a tool that really does help strengthen posture. And I've got one that I have in one of my chairs as well, but I'm looking at it.
It makes it more comfortable. A lot of chairs here at the station are very uncomfortable, and it makes it slightly more comfortable. Although I have to admit, I still think I don't sit properly, even with the back joy. I still kind of slouch, I believe. So. One
thing that I might suggest for you for the back joy, if you do spend a lot of time sitting, which I'm sure you do, adjust the chair so that it's tilting forward just a little bit. A lot of people will have the chair so that the base is the part you're sitting on.
You don't want to be leaning back against the back of the chair, essentially.
Exactly, because if you're leaning back, then you have to lean forward. But with the back joy, one more thing. There's a handle on the back joy.
Yeah, you just pull it out more. Yeah.
When you're leaning forward, it really helps.
Forces you up. Hey, let me ask you about this, because I'm going to knock on wood. I don't have any back issues per se. I just know that they can happen over time. Not a chair. That's another thing I've fooled around with. Are you familiar with the not a chair?
I am familiar with not a chair. I like the not a chair from a theoretical point of view, but from a practical point of view, I found it harder to use because you have to kind of play with the straps and whatnot on it. From a logical point of view, I like it. I've got no problem with it whatsoever.
Right, although it doesn't strengthen your body the way you're describing, the idea of strengthening the muscles, right?
And that's the idea. If you think about it, if you're not using muscles, they get weak, and your body is made to be stacked and tall. When you're sitting, you're folded, and you're strengthening it in that fold. And that's why working at doing posture exercises is what CPAP, Certified Posture Exercise Professionals, Huge.
I'm talking to Dr. Stephen Weiniger. He's the author of the book, Stand Taller, Live Longer. Also online, it's bodyzone.com. While we're just going over all kinds of back issues, I want to ask you about Dr. John Sorno. He talks about this mind-body connection when it comes to people that really suffer with back problems. What are your thoughts about that?
The whole thing of back pain is mind-body, because you can definitely distract somebody away from a back pain for a short time. I disagree with Dr. Sarno because his thrust is if you just don't pay attention to it, it won't bother you. To simplify, my feeling is you want to connect someone with their body so they're using their body well, not so they're disconnecting from the body. That's why when we had you standing in the door a moment ago, the first thing is try to find the direction of standing tall, then using the doorway to pull your body as tall as you can go, and then strengthening muscles in that direction, using a ball to move your body in 3 dimensions again, strengthening it, and also seeing what it looks like, taking a picture. We strongly suggest people take a posture picture on a regular basis to see what they look like when they think they're standing tall.
What percentage of us do you think actually sit and stand properly?
Really, really few, because we're not taught it. I don't know how old you are, but when I was a kid, there was a big emphasis on standing tall and look at your posture, and that's kind of fallen by the wayside. And kids these days slump even worse.
Well, we're slumped because they're looking at their phones all the time. It makes you slump.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. And one thing that works with kids a lot of times, if you take a picture of a kid when they're slumping and then show them that picture, they don't like it because they think they're standing one way, they're sitting one way, and when they see how hunched over they look and then say, you look like an old man, at that point they get mad, which is what you want them to do to change.
Of the people that you deal with that have had back pain for many, many years, how often is it that they don't really have a serious structural problem with their back? Most people that have back pain don't have a, as you put it, serious structural problem. Most people that have disc degeneration don't need disc surgery. Depending upon who you talk to with back pain, the overwhelming majority of back pain is not going to kill you. However, it may make you feel like you want to die. Right. And that's the problem, because it does hurt. And the pain issues, they can be resolved by changing your posture? Is it that simple?
As you said before, it's not totally simple, but yet the more you can strengthen your posture, the more your back pain can be improved. I'm a chiropractor by training. When something's not moving well, going to a chiropractor to get the joint moving makes sense. If a muscle's not moving well, going to a massage therapist makes sense. But in general, the more people are aware of their bodies and keep their bodies standing tall, the less mechanical stress there is, and the better they're going to feel.
It's something to think about, something to keep in mind. I do a lot of lounging. Is it better, if you're going to sit, are you better off kind of laying down, more of a lounge position than sitting kind of a 90-degree angle? If you're sitting comfortably, you're going to find that lounging back in a recliner is a comfortable lounge. But if you do that for long periods of time, then other muscles get weak. And that's the problem. Your body's made to move. There isn't one perfect posture. Right. The more you change it up, that's the ticket. Yes, a lot to think about there. Dr. Stephen Weiniger, the book, Stand Taller, Live Longer, and you can find them online at bodyzone.com. That's bodyzone.com. Dr. Weiniger, thank you. Thank you. Have a great day.